What's going on, guys? Dan back here with the Regular Guy Garage. This video is kind of going to jump around a little bit. I've been videoing kind of on and off whenever I can, whenever I'm kind of in the mood to, but I started pulling apart the Mustang. I got the engine and transmission out. Basically tore apart the whole engine bay. Well, you'll see throughout the video, but the video is going to kind of bounce around a little bit, but moving right along on the car. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Here's the first two parts we got in. That's a parachute mount. Here's the back for it. I don't have the parachute itself yet. And then the manual brake conversion kit. It's a Strange Master cylinder, and then the Motion Raceworks piece that goes with it. I got the driver's seat out so I can kind of work on it, which again, look at these seats. That's kind of a shadow right there, but the seats are in really good shape. So we'll keep them, eventually we'll do some sort of lightweight seat, but again, took it out just to, get the brake booster out. I got to get that brake pedal off because I'm pretty sure we got to drill a hole in it for the new manual brake conversion kit. Outside of that, we're going to end up cutting this radiator support off because, as you can see, it's pretty awful. I painted the engine bay black, just rattle canned it, nothing crazy. Just kind of degreased the whole thing, sprayed it all down. Gonna end up spraying that down too eventually. But so basically all of this, K-member, everything, steering shaft or rack and pinion, that's all coming out. I got a manual one coming. I'm gonna have eventually have a K-member coming in. Got the Motion Raceworks intermediate shaft for the steering as well. So I'm going to try and take the turn signal, the wiper control, and then the ignition switch off of that steering column and see if I can't fit it onto the Motion Raceworks steering shaft, because I want to try and keep the interior, as stock appearing as I possibly can. See if I can't put the, covers back on it. I don't feel like it's that hard. It looks like it just clamps on. I'm sure people out there have done it. I've just never looked into it, but that's the plan for it. All right, so here's where we're at with the car right now. I've got the entire engine bay pretty much out, and then K-member out. I've got the new K-member in. We're gonna go ahead and throw that in. So here's the K-member going in. This is a Team Z K-member. It's a LS swap K-member, as you can tell by the motor mounts. Motor mounts are over there. I've got some A-arms and new spindles for it as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this up in the car, and then we'll pick back up after that. All right, so I got manual steering rack. I just went with a Summit Racing one. It's, just a typical manual steering rack for a Foxbody. Team Z bump steer kit for the manual steering rack, and then I got some Team Z spindles as well as A-arms. So all Team Z stuff up front minus the rack. I bought two 5-inch bolts, but one of them was actually a 6-inch bolt. I got more here. I'm just going to swap that one. Additionally, we got the manual brake master cylinder up that I got from Motion Raceworks. Got it all bench bled and installed. Pretty clean install. The only thing is right towards the top right there, you kind of have to file on the firewall itself. You have to file, or I use that little die grinder right there. Just like kind of a little half moon shape just to get the dust boot to clear. So when it comes to the manual brake conversion kit too, I think you can kind of see the dust boot, and there's I cut a little notch at the top, but also if you'll take a look right here, so the original master cylinder hooked up here, you have to drill a hole a couple inches higher, and basically what that's going to do is that's going to set your brake pedal ratio. So with the manual brakes, you actually need more ratio to get the brakes to work properly. Motion Raceworks did a great video, letting you know how to do all that. But it also says in the directions, basically just go from the center of that bolt hole down 2 inches, and that's pretty much what we're looking at. So that's all I did, 2 inches down, drilled a 3/8 inch hole, and threw it back in the car. So outside of that, I cut the radiator support off because it was disgusting. But I left some meat there, so this way I can just kind of slowly trim away. So what I'll do is I'll pretty much just grind this down so it's nice and flat here. And then when I get the support in, which it hasn't come in yet, we'll go ahead and finish it off by, basically coming parallel, and then we'll go ahead and get it set up. Which for the Motion Raceworks one, you can actually bolt it on. It's just 4 bolts really, 2 on each side. So I'm gonna bolt it instead of welding it. It's only holding the radiator. It provides no structural support at all. So, you know, I don't feel like welding it. Plus that side towards the bottom, it's a little bit thin, so I'd rather just bolt it in. Moving over to the back of the car, I got the parachute mount all set up, the hole cut in the bumper, very simple. Just waiting on the, well, I haven't ordered it yet, but I gotta actually get the parachute. And we'll put that on. Not a huge, you know, not really a huge thing. So I'm trying to do is get everything set up as far as suspension before I actually dive into buying the engine and transmission and stuff. I've already got a lead on a Power Glide, so probably gonna pick that up whenever I can. And then next for the car is we're gonna do a set of brakes. So they're gonna be the strange, you know, Foxbody drag brakes that they have for this car. And then also gonna do a set of long travel front struts. Between Afterworks, the Ron G long travel struts, and then obviously the Jeff Thomas's, you know, TRS ones, but not really gonna go too wild, like not gonna get the best top of the line, just kind of want something that's, you know, gonna help us do a little bit better on the backside surfaces, but you know, more so this is gonna be a street car, you know, driving it around. So I'm going to physically drive it to the racetrack, compete in a street class, and then drive it back home, you know. Still waiting on the steering column and the intermediate shaft and the steering wheel. They haven't gotten here yet from Motion Raceworks. I think it's because I ordered it at the same time as I did with the radiator support. And so I chose to have the brackets welded on that radiator support. So they said, you know, it takes a little bit more time to finish that before it ships out. So, you know, whenever it gets here, it gets here. I'm not in a crazy rush for, you know, fixing or finishing this thing. It's going to take a while. So even though, I mean, I say that and I've already done a pretty significant amount already. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this one. You know, a little bit of suspension chassis work done. And, you know, it's all just bolt-on stuff. It's all really simple too. So coming next is going to be the brakes and the brakes and front struts, front coilovers. And then after that, I mean, I'll start moving on the back. Start disassembling the rear after that, drop the gas tank, all that stuff, get rid of what we don't need. And then, you know, we'll order some parts over time to start getting the back put together. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.